Welcome to Matchday 9 of Division 1 of its Simulation Soccer League. We make the second of our second round of encounters, and we hope to see a huge one coming up here. I'm Socc, joined here by Sarah, the voiceless creator. And Sarah,
Hello.
a start that will be very intriguing. The two teams currently in the relegation zone, Kaapstad and Cairo City.
Yeah, we're gonna get a warmer match today. It's not something I'm exactly against. It's hard to say Cairo City are quite a warmer match when you if you remember their cup game. Quite an exciting match there. If you missed that earlier today, go and watch that before you watch this. We won't spoil too many results, but boy, oh boy, that didn't disappoint. But for Cairo City, they'll be looking to take a win over Kaapstad. They are in that relegation battle. Kaapstad have yet to register a point. I'm sure that Cairo will be looking to keep it that way.
Yeah, Kaapstad only one goal scored in their 8 games. Offensively, they have been absolutely neutered. Cairo 2-4, -2 on their goal differential. So a win here would be huge as well, considering that their opponents in relegation, currently União Sao Paulo, have a very tough game on their hands going up against CF Catalunya.
And into London on the other side of theirs are also going to be taking on Tokyo. Not exactly pushovers themselves. All 4 teams there, into London, Tokyo, Sao Paulo, Cairo, are involved in this relegation battle. It is a 4-point gap between Tokyo, who's sitting 4th, and Cairo, who's sitting 7th.
Yep, and then it's a 3 at the top. Athênai Hollywood, a rematch of the final, rematch of the cup final and the Super Cup. I mean, it's exactly what you'd expect out of that one, quite likely, honestly. Those two are a force to be reckoned with. But Hollywood have absolutely extended their gap. Unbeaten thus far, and Athênai will look to change that fate.
Yeah, and
we'll be getting underway shortly.
For Catalunya, they'll be looking for Athênai to pull off a big win. There's not many other teams that can do it. Catalunya had that opportunity, I believe it was last match day or match day prior, and succumbed to a 2-0 loss to Hollywood. And I have to say, if Hollywood beat Athênai here, they're pretty well clear and run away with the league.
Yeah, as we are underway with our first match here in South Africa. It's South Africa versus North Africa here, as Kaapstad will face Cairo.
We are in Accra today. Cairo with a surprisingly short plane ride. I guess they could take the train, but I'm sure they'll be happy to play at their home continent either way.
Yeah, it's a rare time we get to see these kinds of duels, at least with these two sides having it probably the only rivalry that they can really establish geographically wise, and unless you would account perhaps a Cairo and Athênai Mediterranean bout, as Bjorka whips this one in, and Flemish hits the bar and goes over the top with that one. That was an early chance that kind of spawned from nothing there, and perhaps Flemish was unlucky not to finish that one.
Yeah, we'll see how many more opportunities they get. Cairo are playing in a 4-3-3 DM wide, so they're going to have the chances outside, but it's how many they can get into the box to convert for Torres here.
Yeah, at that one they look for Torres again, but that time wasn't able to keep the header down enough. That's a Kaapstad. How are they playing?
They'll be looking to answer in a bit of a asymmetric 4-3-2-1.
They're both kind of playing very similar formations, though perhaps Kaapstad playing a little bit more centralized. As Flemish is sent on through, Hall makes a tough save, and Dog decides to clear it out for a corner. There wasn't much pressure on him. Perhaps could have looked to get behind that ball and clear it out.
Dexter Hall's important. Dexter Hall's performances have been so important for Kaapstad as of late. I know they haven't had any points this year so far, but they've come close a couple of times, and Hall's been massive in every sort of effort in keeping them in this.
Yeah, he's needed to play to his best. It's Flemish long ball. Hall a shot. The rebound nearly fell for Noodle, but rolled over the goal line first. Corner kick.
Yeah, a little lucky there for Kaapstad, unlucky there for Cairo, but plenty of opportunities still. Only 22 minutes on in this first half.
Yeah, Kamavinga ends up winning the corner, and it's cleared out, but only as far as Arisov at halfway. Trying to find Flemish on the outside, but good stop by Kraus. It's a mistake. Stains. Oh, Franco Torres tried to finesse that one into the bottom left corner, but it just went wide.
Good pressing chance from Cairo here. That Kaapstad formation is susceptible. You kind of alluded to it earlier in a very positive sort of manner. They're playing really well up the center, but they're susceptible out wide. And when you play up the pitch like Kaapstad do in the middle, it can be easy to close those gaps off, like we're seeing Cairo do here.
Yep. I mean, you have to consider where your strengths and weaknesses are in your formations, especially if you're having a 4-3-2-1. You want to be central while having a 4-3-3 with wide defensive midfielders. A Stain shot goes wide there. Where do you want your chances to be through? As the shooting has been with Cairo on this occasion, no shot on target registered thus far for Kaapstad. And looks like they might just have a chance here for Cairo before the break, unless a quick counterattack can be launched. It's asked Jeeves. The Flemish headed away there by Norris. Zimmer can't try and launch a counter, and then there's a penalty with Huda. Arsov now Flemish. Flemish inside. Oh, Hall missed the cross in, and Ketchup Noodle with an easy tap. 1-0 Cairo.
Kind of a double miss for Kaapstad here. Beautiful cross. Give credit due. That's a wonderful assist from Cairo, but watch this. Dexter Hall's going to lunge for this and miss it, and it's going to float past Doug as well. Doug was the man marking Noodle, absolutely beat by a whole foot there. Noodle was able to tap that in right before halftime.
Yeah, huge bit of separation there. You can see the impact that had on the XG chart. Goodness me.
I have to say, fairly deserved by Cairo. They've been dominant in this first half.
Yeah, and that quality shot with having a player beating the pace and the goalkeeper gambling and losing. Perhaps Norris could have also intercepted that cross as well. A lot of question marks to be raised there. But still, Kaapstad end up on the back foot once again, especially at home. This is probably the match here we're thinking about, really trying to claw themselves back into contention, but to go what would be basically 3 full games back with 5 to play probably seals their fate.
Hey, I sure hope that either you or Kaapstad's GM knows Toto, because they could sure as hell use some rain down in Africa right now. Their forwards are in a drought. They have scored nothing in the last 2 games at the very least here. Going on 3. It's been scraps for the Kaapstad attack. But it's not for a lack of effort.
See, I thought we were going to talk about Toto. It's a football game. We played 90 minutes. But unfortunately, I have an entirely wrong Toto. No changes, it looks like, for each side at halftime. So we play 11v11, barring injury, of course. It looks like an early chance here. It's Nagatoro in from across from Hulkavodo, but a great tackle there by Huda.
Just held it too long, did Nagatoro Maradona. Been guilty of that a couple times, actually. Was guilty of that a couple of matches ago. Just held it up the ball in the 90th minute, if I recall.
Yeah, perhaps this was looking for a better shooting angle and just never had it fall to them. There's a great interception by Staines on a Hulkavodo pass. Bjorkos will find Jeeves. Noodle looking to turn it towards a flank. That's where the chances have been. Just decides to go back and doubles back with Bjorkos. Slow building play now. Jeeves. Torres looked to be through here. Decides to take an outside the area shot, but it didn't come off. It just goes wide.
Disappointing finish there for Cairo. It was so well worked, so patiently worked, only for Torres to let that rip from about 20 yards out.
Yeah, it did feel like it was perhaps a little bit more on, especially considering it looked like there was several times where it looked like it was shaping for a run.
Yeah, he had space and time too, I think. He just rushed it.
Yeah, there's Flemish there, able to intercept a pass. And Torres now try to finesse it again, but again, just wide.
He's getting chances, Franco Torres. He is getting chances, but very much in late goal-scoring form. Inside joke, he doesn't score goals late into the season.
I see. Yes, there's another opportunity there that fell by the wayside. Ketchup noodle on that one, and a header, but over the bar that time. Looked like from Snooks.
It was indeed Snooks, the loanee, I believe, from Macro.
Now approaching the tick of the hour. Kaapstad still not have looked like creating a very positive chance here to equalise in this first 15 minutes of the second half, as Hall gets out to that one before Staines is able to get the head to it. That time gambling and winning there. Try and clear deep, but no one there. Except Darth Jeeves. Now Noodle finds Staines and Torres. Well, I think that's coming true right now. Goodness me, that was perhaps himself getting inside his own head here.
Yeah, kind of unsure if I'm a Cairo player right now. Staines looked like he had a good look at the net. If the things have been going as well as they have for them, you might start taking those.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did get the goal through another of their players. As here's Jeeves with a header, just wide.
There is a barrier around the Kaapstad net right now. That barrier is part Dexter Hall and part Magic.
I was going to go with Magneto, but either way, Flemish again a shot, and that time Hall has to come out to make the save.
20 shots now for Cairo through 70 minutes, 6 of them on target though.
Yeah, the finishing aim has not been there. Here's another chance that'll go wide again by Snooks.
Really good chances for Cairo. If I'm a coach, I like what I'm seeing. Of course, you would always want to see a little more clinical finishing from your players, but that's every team, no?
Yeah, I mean, I'd just be happy with creating the chances. I was managing Cairo right now as Staines, closely pressured by Nagatoro. Likes to backplay it. Let's see, of course, that big backplay mistake there. I believe it was from Krauses, who I believe looked to find Muller, maybe the other way around. And it just ended up falling back. And it led to an intercept and a chance, as here's Noodle around Doug, and again, a shot, but nothing on target.
Noodle with that goal earlier. Seeing how he shot that ball, I think we are a little lucky that he got a tap in last time.
Yeah, well, I mean, so long as he can hit it from 6 yards out, it's fine. As here's Valor, another opportunity. Oh, Elmoja Heretic really sold out for that shot and didn't need to.
And still got back to clear the ball. Really good agility from the Heretic.
Yep, as here's Holcavado sent in, and a good save there by almost the Heretic, but it wasn't needed due to an offside.
Yeah, flag is up. Zimmer was off there. I think it was both players that might have been off, though.
Yep. Just not able to time that run that time as Muller tried to find Krauses on the left flank, but outside was there to head it clear as Flemish finds Torres. Chance 1-on-1. Camavinga coming back. He gets it. That's a huge, huge goal in the grand scheme of things. Cairo might very well secure 3 points with that one. Adasov to Flemish. Just sends through Torres. He was left with about 10 yards of space in between.
All it took was the counter from Cairo here. They needed to draw Kaapstad outside of their box, outside of their zone, get the defenders out of position, and that's exactly what happened there. Flemish was able to find Torres on the counter, streaking past the defenders, and he this time was able to put it into the net past Dexter Hall.
Yep, that time able to find the finesse on his finishing. They may not be finished yet here. As Adasov, the man that initially set it up, goes to Flemish, the man that earned the assist. Tries to play it back. Adasov the cross ends up only cutting out Camavinga and rescued by Nagatoro. Nagatoro moves forward to Zimmer. Look at Adasov already getting back to try and get in defense. Krauses now gets Zimmer through on a through ball. Just played it back enough, and there's a goal! Kevin Zimmer! The second goal of the season for Kaapstad, finally opening an account that is desperately needed funds.
It is magic out of nothing for Kaapstad here. A nothing burger that turns into their second goal of the year. They need one more.
Yeah, just need one more to get the points out of this one as we into the final minute of play. Cairo might just look to park it from here. They might just look to get some territory. That's what they end up finding with Noodle against Doug. Doug gets turned around and Middleven just takes advantage of a flank. Norris there, able to clear it up to Zimmer. Now Hall Cavado. Last chance saloon here. Oh, that's a big foul from Jeeves.
Big tactical foul from Ash Jeeves there. That's going to slow down play and let Kaapstad, Cairo regroup, really.
Yeah. They end up finding Kratos on the other end. No equalizer there, though. Eilish Nooks clears it. And somehow, Cairo were able to nearly escape with one that they could have very well ended up winning.
Yeah, for some reason, I feel disappointed as a Kaapstad fan. Like, that very end of the match, it certainly felt like they could have come away with something. I know it's a little silly to say, but, like, the ending momentum of that game was very Kaapstad heavy.
Yeah. I did actually say a game they ended up winning. They did win it, but they nearly ended up dropping it.
Had it not been for Franco Torres' wonder goal in the 88th minute, that would have been a draw.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, they also did pretty much score that goal right from the kickoff, so to say that it was produced by that, perhaps it was just Kaapstad finding just that little bit extra within them and never really would have had a chance otherwise.
Yeah, who's to say, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, Cairo win a 2-1 result, and among metrics, it is a deserved 2-1 win.
Yeah. I mean, they probably been a deserved 3-1 win looking at metrics, so I'm sure Cairo will be content at the very least with the result on that one.
Yeah, 100%, because it means that they are safe. Actually, hold on. There's still match day to play. They're not exactly safe yet, right? If Sao Paulo pull the upset here and manage to beat Catalunya, that means that Cairo are back in danger. If, of course, results between Inter-London and Tokyo result in a draw or a win for Inter-London, that means Cairo will be bounced back into the relegation zone at the end of the day. But a lot of theoreticals for matches that we're going to see in very shortly.
Well, safe is a relative term, Sarah.
Yes, provisionally safe, you know?
Yeah, because they still got 5 matches to play, of course, as you alluded to. And with that, I think it was just more kind of like the safety of potentially dropping points in a situation where they really shouldn't be dropping points. And that's what ended up occurring is next on the match, the big one, Athênai versus Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Again, Athênai, Catalunya fans are watching with their hearts in their mouth. They need Athênai to pull the upset here against Hollywood, and it's rare to call something an upset midway through our season. Normally we're so close, but yeah, I'd have to say if Athênai win here, it is an upset. There's 7 points between themselves and Hollywood right now, and clearly the better team is Hollywood.
Yeah,
We'll see if it holds
Hollywood
today,
is,
though.
I mean, Hollywood are yet to drop a game in the season, which is frankly bonkers if you ask me. They have been far and away the strongest side throughout this tournament, and I mean, I don't think they even dropped a game of a cup either. It's just been that kind of way for them.
They've scored 26 goals, which is nearly twice the next team's. Catalunya have 15. Sao Paulo have 15 as well. But some might argue that the outlier game against Kaapstad inflates that a little bit. But even still, you remove that from all of these teams, and Hollywood are miles and away ahead in goals for.
Yeah, it's not like they put up double digits in a game. Anyway, we are back underway here with this one, and it looks like Athênai, how have they decided to try and break down this Hollywood defense?
It's the tried and true 4-3-3 DM wide. It's what they've used all year, and it's likely what they'll use for the rest of the year, I suspect.
I suppose no reason to change what hasn't already paid off for them. But under the third of the league thus far, with a 3-point gap over fourth. And how about Hollywood? Have they made any changes to their standard formation?
Tactically, yes, but formation-wise, they're still lined up in that asymmetric 4-2-3-1 with those two attacking midfielders, Ricky Bobby on the right-hand side of that, Tiki Taka their lone striker. So not too many changes, and I think we're seeing that as both teams get comfortable now. 18 minutes into our game, neither side with too much action.
Yeah, Bobby, Rashford, and Taka all able to play in that central position. As here's a chance for Taka. His header is held there by Yannick Anderson.
Tiki Taka with, I think, like a league-leading nearly 20 goals through all competitions in 8 games, 10
Down and
games.
44 hit the post. Yeah, 11 goals, leads by 4 in the division ahead of Owen 44. The man that just missed his opportunity to potentially put one over. And that one will probably be one that was severely rude by the Greek squad.
Yeah, I know Athênai don't get too many opportunities these days. They get a few a match, and they count on the clinicalness of Owen 44 to punish. Didn't happen there.
And a chance. Oh, Henderson was right on his line and nearly brought it over its own. Able to secure it, and only half an hour gone. No one's broken through quite yet, but here's Gerard's corner. Played away by Lind, but knocked down by Bobby. Costanza's shot is blocked by Gintonic. Gerard goes back to Bobby. Bobby, a shot from outside the area and finds the corner. Oh, that's the clinical finishing you mentioned, but it's from one of their attacking mids. Ricky Bobby finds the back of the net to make it 1-0.
Bobby is no stranger to this. Current striker, I suppose, plays in both positions quite frequently now. And wow, what a goal. What finesse from Ricky Bobby. What a finish.
Yeah, and that moves him to second on the scoring chart. Was in a 4-way tie at the time. Of course, we know Franco Torres was able to equalize with him, but now he moves to an outright 8. Has been just on fuego. And, I mean, so is this entire Hollywood squad. As here's Salvatore looking for Bobby. He tried to get a double, perhaps. Taka a shot, but just too high. Seven minutes left in this half.
We are flying.
Yep, not many chances. And I feel like that's kind of to be expected with the way these sides usually play. You know, you're not going to be presented with many chances. But the brunt of them falling with Hollywood now as Rashford sends Taka in. A good save by Anderson just to clear it out. Of course, I mean, both of these sides have conceded 6 and 7 goals in 8 games. And you can see less than a goal per game. It's kind of right. Isn't really shocking.
No, both these teams are just so good defensively. Athena is one of the best defense in our league's history, and Hollywood have had so much time with their defensive core. Spacchiero is one of the best, if not the best center back in our league, offensively, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely up for debate for some people, of course, but I mean, Spacchiaro's just been doing this for so long, it's not surprising. Just looking.
Spacchiero has more goals than some teams' forwards.
Yeah, well, I mean, that can happen when you're a very tall center back who can win aerial duels for corners. And he's also been playing quite well as well. 7.39 average match rating. That's 12th highest in Division 1, which is incredible for a center back, quite frankly.
Yeah, no, a lot of times they're on the receiving end and some of the mistakes that happen through the game engine, but no, Spacchiero's been pretty flawless. Like you said, I think they have less than a goal through their matches, a goal per match.
Yep. 0.75 goals per game will fall to 0.67.
Ooh.
Hold as Salvatore's shot just goes over the bar.
Anderson having to be sharp there.
Yeah, had to just make sure he could watch it. But thankfully, even if he did miss it, could have just watched it go over the bar, though. That's for results-oriented mindset. The execution, almost there.
We are
Fisher, now 44, sent through, and his shot again just wide. Maybe just grazed the side netting.
So we flew through halftime there. Notably, no subs from either side. We're going to see starting 11s finish both games.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen much of Hunter Jones, so it's not really surprising. It's there's a shot by Gintonic. Sterling couldn't hold it. And Jaru there on the back end to clear it out. The first shot on target Athênai have registered.
8 in the match so far, so they've definitely had opportunities to send it. Unfortunately, we've seen a few of them from 44 just go wide narrowly.
Yeah. We saw the same with Torres earlier in this match day, so we can only hope that he's able to find the net, especially for those Athênai 10s, and also just for general good performance here as Bobby uncontested on the header, but never really troubled Anderson.
And don't forget, Catalunya fans are sitting here watching nervously.
Yeah, and we'll just hope that Hollywood can even just drop points, perhaps. So even if Athênai do end up not able to claim anything out of this, there is also the potential that Catalunya just say, all right, well, now we could potentially get clear and get an outright second, but Keitel hopes it might be vanishing. The rain continues to fall down here in Greece. Gerrard a chance and just tipped over by Anderson on that near post.
Tell you what, they're missing some of that in South Africa right now.
Oh dear. We got back to that, didn't we? Gerrard's corner was cleared away by Ligmanen, and he ended up rescuing his own mess. Rashford now able to tackle with Bobby, then Salvatore, now Liang Kwai in for tackle, shot, Anderson hit it and then also hit his side net. Well, that
was in. That goes out the underside of him and is cleared, I believe, by Yorker, but gave me a heart attack for sure.
Yep, final minute here of regulation, +1 on the ball below us. Yorker tried to find Fisher. Bets back Gerrard again, able to rescue it. And will work back for Lockyer. Lockyer finds Labovic. Not talked about him much. Gintonic tries a little run in, blocked by Salvatore in another corner.
That's a massive block by Alessio Salvatore there with less than a minute to play.
Yep, they just need one more here to equalize, though, as Jarrow again gets his boot to it. Liga quickly worked it in for Lind. Have to imagine the referee will try and let this go on as long as he can. So perhaps this is one last roll of the dice here. 44, Gintonic on the inside, and Scott Sterling holds on and will get Hollywood 3 points away from home.
I think that anytime you have a title-winning side, you have matches where you look back and you can point the finger at the entire team and say, your defense just bailed you out. And I think Hollywood can point to their game, this game in particular, and say their defense bailed them out today.
Yeah, I mean, Athênai, I also feel like it could be argued that it was their defense that bailed them out, but also the finishing just wasn't there. Just the one shot on target from that Zinedine Gintonic, direct free kick. And, well, aside from that, they just didn't have many opportunities that they could put on net and even trouble Scott Sterling.
Yeah, they played well, did Athênai. Their defense, Anderson, Lind on a 7.2, so they played well. It's just you need to score too.
Yep, looks like George Costanza will be the player of the match for that one. Rare for a centre back to get one, the 7.9 match rating. Good on him for being able to defend 44 well and never really gave him many quality opportunities.
Entire backline, defensive line here from Hollywood. I said it earlier, but take a bow. This is their gem in their crown, more than likely.
Indeed, is. Hopefully, we get to see more of this from Hollywood as they will move thus far. 9 points clear of the standings. Still, of course, Catalunya to play. That will be the final match on the card, but 8-1-0. I mean, they've just been, frankly, an unstoppable machine. And not only that, winning the head-to-head versus Athênai, I think the only team that really could have troubled them, perhaps let another contender through, including Athênai themselves, and they just haven't been able to find it now.
It's a brilliant match that we just saw there. Two top teams in our league. I don't think it gets much better than that, if I'm frank.
Yeah, that was an absolutely high-quality match, and it is admittedly tough for the Greek side to have to go home and basically lick their wounds.
I'd imagine how how Catalunya are picking up their boys right now. Because after watching that match, they still have to go out and play and perform against Sao Paulo. Because if they don't, the position against Athênai is at risk.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could still say this is our chance to move clear of them and still contest for an outright second, so. Now we move on to the next of the card, the absolute mid-table affair. 4th place Tokyo versus 5th place Inter London.
Mid-table indeed, but some real relegation implications in this matchup here. Tokyo 2 points ahead of Inter London, who sit on 5th with 10, but they sit on 5th with 10, with Sao Paulo in 6th on 9, and Cairo provisionally ahead both of them with a win against Kaapstad. So currently provisional 6th is Inter London. They'll need a win to pull themselves above Cairo, and they would leapfrog Tokyo if they do. But a draw would equally bring them in line with Cairo City. I believe Cairo scored 3 today, right?
They scored 2. They conceded 1.
So Inter London, if they do get a draw, they will be ahead of Cairo City on goal difference. Yep. But all that and more ahead of us here.
Yeah, and the sides are walking out now for their anthems. So as we get underway here, how are the tactics looking for both of these sides?
So Inter London playing in a narrow 4-4-2 diamond. We've seen them line up this formation quite often this year. I think they've used a different formation maybe once this season. On the other side of the pitch, Tokyo will be lining up in what I believe is their 3-4-3 with their 3 strikers up top. Ooh. It is Socc, Hayden, and Rise playing up top today. A newer formation from them, if I'm honest. It's not something I've seen them employ so far this year. We'll see if it works. We've seen Sao Paulo play in this sort of formation all year, though.
Yep. Well, hasn't really worked out for them too well, as there's a offside flag raised for what could have been a corner kick.
Good opportunity.
Like a very good early chance at Tokyo, but just couldn't find the target.
Yeah, it was a good drive by Nessie here, returning to London for the first time since she's moved away from the team. Won a title with Inter London in season 4, I believe. I want to say. I'm going to get in trouble for forgetting which season I won the title in, but was with the team prior to moving to Sydney City, now Reykjavik, and is now with Tokyo.
I see.
First time returning to play former friends.
There's now... Looks like London trying to build an attack here. Initially had a cross from the floor that was cleared away. Now have to floor once more. It's back to Yore. They back between the two of them. It's back to Malar. Has Bud Light large box McGurk on one end and then just swings at the other side. Dimitrov eventually over Clements and just barely saved by Dobby Rube.
Clements is offside though.
Yep. But there's another cross in by DeFleur, and that time Rube gets underneath it and collects it.
We're seeing Inter London find some success out wide today. We are seeing that, Cairo's formation a little susceptible to that wide play. They're playing with only 2 wingers there, the 2 wing backs in particular.
Yeah. So it might open some opportunities down the center. The playing them at 4-4-2 might not be conducive to that, as there's a header by Rise. Much shorter targeting the floor, and just ends up being headed over the bar.
We can see offensively, though, Nessie absolutely has Dimitrov's number today. That's twice she's skimmed past him.
Dimitrov, I believe, a recent waiver claim.
Yeah, rookie playing
picked up
on that.
Hayden, maybe offside here, and it is. But I was able to finally call one this match day. We haven't seen many offsides, though, thankfully, as Gary tried to find a floor on a long cross, but Visser, again, a taller target, able to cut it out.
Yeah, certainly less than a few match days before.
Nessa finds Rise, and Rise the tap in. Just able to find an open shot. And it's 1-0 to Tokyo from right in front.
Yeah, we see these from these 3 striker formations from time to time. It can be just so hard to mark all the attackers, and here Sky Rise drifts in between the defense. I believe it was Dive in a lot who was in charge of marking him, but had drifted over to mark one of the other attackers and left Rise wide open for that tap-in.
Yeah, left the floor to try and cover, and the floor notably having converted recently from midfielder. not been very good with the marking skills.
I don't even think that was the floor's mark. The floor's mark is Visser, right? Visser's on that left-hand side, and there's a dangerous
Well,
attacker on that
debatably,
left.
but Claw was following Rise through that.
I think he just got drafted in and happened to be at the in the area when Rise was able to put that past, but I wouldn't mark him with a mistake there.
Fair enough, as Rise again had the floor on him, so perhaps that is the case there, but nonetheless, that Rise header is saved by Yeboah. The floor goes out to Yore.
Only 15 minutes
Another
past.
slow build attack, yeah. Both teams have had some decent chances, and it looks like Tokyo will attempt to build again as Soderberg goes back to Nessie. Put up.
London keen to engage that press up high, but then whenever they get pushed back, it's a foot race.
Yep. Well, I mean, some players may have been the great sprinters out there, but I mean, Linear Nessie, I believe, one of the faster players. I'll need to be double checked as here's Hayden. A little bit of an open look, but didn't have much time and tries to put it to the near post. Yeboah had it covered.
That in the offside trap right this time did Hayden, but Yeboah was ready for that one.
Yep, had it secured well as Rise now will go back to Visser, and again Tokyo looking to mount a charge with Nessie. Probably again having to work against him. Inside Soderberg goes to the wide side with Rise and just saved by Yeboah.
Stretching out is Tony Yeboah, reflexively reaching towards that side. I don't even think he saw it, gets a hand to it.
Couldn't end up getting that one through as a Sagi. Offside.
Free kick given, it looked like it could have been a pen. It's a bit of a ugly tackle.
It was Nessie was offside, so anything that happened in that build-up really did not matter.
Yep. Got away with one there.
Yeah. Soderberg will look wide again to Nessie. Nessie inside. And nearly an own goal there from Roma. Hayden tries to go back to Isagi, but that time Dimitrov ends up winning an aerial duel. Getting by McGurk, and that time the head away by Roma. To find out Visser, though. Visser works it right back in. Good tackle there by the floor, but one back by Visser. Goes back to Rise. Rise another ball across. That time finds Nessie. Going back for Soderberg, who just tried to put everything into it, and perhaps could have put a little less.
Really well worked here by Tokyo, just feeding on the chaos that the three strikers bring. The defense is all over the place, and that gives Tokyo just so much room to rope in all these extra attackers.
Yeah, perhaps it's just them not being used to the way this team runs, converted midfield to defense, and, well, perhaps they've had enough experience to be used to that, of course, and Dimitrov having recently been introduced into the fold as Nessie about to be marked by Jerry. The floor just headed it right back into Rise, I think. This ended up falling back for Yeboah. Oh, that time able to intercept. Muffin tried to find Jerry, but was headed right back by Vercetti. They just need to get those balls a little higher, perhaps, to give themselves that extra space to let them strikers roam as Rise in, and again beats the floor in the air. And that's 2-0 for Tokyo. And it's once more Sky Rise from close range to make it a comfortable lead now for Tokyo.
Yeah, this is the classic three-striker chaos. We're watching this mismatch develop here. Ruma drifts over to Isagi, dives in a lot, is marking Hayden, which means Skyrise is left to be floated on by the floor, and you can see just the mismatch. Skyrise is 6'11", I think, 6'10", 6'11". He's a giant. The floor, not exactly that.
Yeah, I believe the floor ranks in at a much more... I'm trying to think of a word here as Clemens tries to get a pass in from the floor and ends up just sending it wide.
Much more humble, 5 foot something.
Well, I can tell you it's at least 5 foot something. I'm going to go with humble, though. At least on a personal level. Only 5'9".
That's not too bad against 6'10" Sky Rise. Yeah, you look tiny, but like 5'9" is not small by any metrics. I think.
Yeah,
I think we have a player, Sigurd of Catalunya. She's 5 feet tall, 5'1",
Goodness.
something like that. She's played
Yeah,
really well for Buenos Aires.
I guess more to the point on that regard is though that you have a 5'9" going to 6'11", like think about the mismatch that has been and how they've been able to take advantage of it.
It's absolutely been chaotic. Rise is open at the at the far post every time, and the Tokyo wingers know it. The wingbacks, at least. There's
Yeah.
nothing that Inter London can do about it. The fact is, Millar's just not dropping deep enough to pick Hayden, which frees up the defenders to pick up Rise and Asagi, right? So the floor is having to pin in, and that opens up either the head of Skyrise, or on the other side of the field, it's Visser with the entire side of that pitch to himself.
Yep. I mean, you consider the height difference there. That's like, someone who's 6'7" basically going against someone who's 5'6".
It's boys against men out there.
Yep. Nessie again with a lot of space. That time dives in a lot though, able to head it clear, but the midfield wasn't that far forward. Laments ends up being the one to get back though and clears it from Visser and right into an open space where swept up by Powdered Toastman. Visser again. A lot of space to roam here. Goes inside of Soderberg. Visser once more. Cut back through. Trying to work it back in. Roma passed it right back to them. That's a huge mistake there. Sagi goes to Soderberg and just taking things calmly now. See back. Goes to Rise again. Saved by Yaboa. And the Sagi shot blocked by Roma. And then it just bounced off his chest. Out for a goal kick.
Remember what I said. Skyrise opens the back post all day, and everyone knows it. They're going to work that ball back to Soderberg, back to the wingers, back to the wingbacks, and just drive that ball into the far post.
Yeah, and to give you an idea of how bad the matchup is, this is like Peter Crouch going against Alexis Sanchez.
Oof.
It's not great. I think it's even more pronounced than that, given how tall Skyrise is. There it is again.
There it is again. The hat trick off the head. Skyrise puts that home. Third of the day. I believe 11th of the season, if I'm not correct. Might have missed that.
In all competitions, but I mean, Skyrise that time just wasn't closely challenged by anyone, and I mean, perhaps Yaboa should have had the near post covered, but still. Skyrise from Lydia Nessie. I mean,
3 times today. All 3 from Nessie. Come on. Come on.
Pure lethality. I mean, it's hard to think, like...
I think this is just a tactical plan.
Yeah, I mean... Lydia Nessie only has 1 assist this entire season and is now looking for a 4th. That time just wide.
Yeah, I think it's just a tactical execution done to perfection by Tokyo. Tactical masterclass.
Yep. Hard to argue with that as Agurk able to keep that one in. Or it could be cleared away. Now Dimitrov trying to look inside, but again Vachetti, I mean, a team that feels like it's more lower in stature just hasn't had the opportunity to anything more with it. Here's another corner opportunity, and that time headed away by Lazinalot.
Inter London have had chances with the possession that they have had the ability to string together. It's not that they have been unable, and we see a counter here from them.
Yep, McGurk is the one that ends up running free here, covered by Soderberg, and McGurk tried to find Jerry, but was headed away by Mike Thorpe, and right back with Soderberg, and now the counter to the counter. Sagi on the right side, excuse me. Left side of a London defense. Nessie. Get by Millar. Goes back to Soderberg. Now it's like for Hayden! And Hayden adds to the tally, but is offside. Just barely must have been. Here's a look again. Looks like he drops back there, but then comes back and mistimes the run.
Yeah, just mistimed the offside trap there.
Yep. Mentioned that he had it timed up previously, but didn't have it on that occasion. Either way, Tokyo have had the brunt of the opportunities and have another one here with less than 5 to play. Pounded Toastman sends it wide, but I mean, feels like a pretty comprehensive victory lined up for them.
Yeah, it's been a game of chances for Hayden. He's timed it right a couple times and mistimed it others. He's really just looking to add that consistency to his point of game. But he is young. I believe he's either a rookie or second year forward. That's something you add over time. And speaking of time,
it is 3-0 victory for Tokyo. And all 3 goals pretty much scored via the same methodology. Linear Nessia 10.0 match rating. Playing absolutely perfectly.
Gosh darn. It's what a match by Nessie. She must have had more than a few dribbles in that too. And a big 3-0 win for Tokyo at home in the Nintendo. Home fans are going to be happy to see that. And that puts Tokyo in a safe position. They're now tied for 4th in the league with Athênai and 15 points, right? And we saw Athênai duke it out against Hollywood, so they're not that far off of that. Not by any means.
That's thrust them right into contention, and also means that Inter London now have to watch on and potentially watch União Sao Paulo overtake them. Put both of the teams that were just promoted into the relegation zone, so only pray for that.
Yeah.
They also dropped behind Cairo on goal difference as well. Cairo -1, Inter London dropped to -2.
So already, I believe Inter London dropping into that relegation place. No, Sao Paulo have less points than them, provisionally speaking, at least. So really looking on nervously as Sao Paulo take on Catalunya. They will need a good result from Catalunya if they hope to sit atop of the danger zone at the end of today. But overall, I think this will be, looking back at it, a missed opportunity.
Sarah.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Sarah!
Am I gone?
Danger zone.
Danger zone?
Have you not seen Archer?
No, I've not.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
I'm sorry. I completely missed that reference.
Yeah,
I thought my
it's
Discord
also a Top
disconnected.
Gun thing. You know, highway to the danger zone and all that. But we're trailing off here. Surprisingly, they've found the floor in spite of being beaten in the air so often, ended up being the best player for London.
Yeah, 7.1. I said it earlier in the match. London have a lot of ground to work on in the width, and DeFleur is their wide player, right? We saw on the left-hand side, too, Dimitrov not having a terrible day either. I believe Tony Bow had him a 7.0. Pretty decent day from him, aside from the well, I don't think any of those goals were his fault. How do you stop a 6'11" man barreling in on your net with no one defending him? Sorry. The floor was defending him, but the floor was also more than 6 feet
35
under
centimeter
him.
height difference. That's the kind of thing that you probably see in. I'll stop. I gotta stop. Yes, it's a really tough day at the office there for Inter London. I mean, they probably could have said to themselves that they should have done more, but it's so difficult to say that given, you know, they had opportunities that never really materialized, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that if they look at where they are at this point in the season, I don't think they'll be too disappointed. They sit in at the moment provisional 6th, as we're sort of sitting here. Not quite sure what waiting for the last game about, but as they sit in 6th, I don't think it's a position in which they didn't expect to be in at the end of the year. Everyone knew that this would be a very, very close fight for the last 6 spots in the Division 1 here. So we'll see where we all finish when this season comes to. But speaking of finishing, Catalunya will need a win today to finish close to Hollywood. Currently a 9-point gap exists.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for both of these sides as early on, Coffee Biscuit is called out for an offside. It's going to be Leaf Fist to get us back underway. Anivier. And just as we get underway here with this Catalunya Sao Paulo game, how are these teams lining up?
Well, McFlopface doesn't want us to talk about that. He wants to talk about chances that Catalunya are getting, and they're getting these chances out of, I believe, their 4-3-3 DM wide.
Makes sense. And that one's cleared out there for a throw-in.
McFlopface playing on, I think, the left-hand side today. More of a forward role, though he starts a little wider.
Yep, there's a Nivier direct free kick here. Just try to find a row.
I think that's Anivier.
Yep. And just
Pass
not
down
able to get by Adam Rage. Now sent through in Brimovic, and Brimovic a chance. Oh, tried to finesse it. Got past Gunnarsson, but got past the net.
So, Sao Paulo, I had kind of spoke about them earlier when I was talking about Tokyo's formation. They're playing in a 3-4-3 as well, right? Something that they've lined up in for most of this season. And it's worked out really, really well for them. They have a really good attack. I believe they are tied for one of the best attacks in the league with 15 goals with Catalunya, ironically.
Checks out. There's an opportunity in Clan! Oh,
what a shot!
Nowhere. My goodness me, what a beautiful delivery in.
I think that's the defensive center midfielder there, Nicholas Incline, with a rare scorcher.
Look at that one. That's from about 25 out, and goodness me, it just never looked like it was going to hit like that, but ends up doing so.
And you can tell he did not think twice about that. He knew exactly where he wanted to put that and just let it rip.
Yeah. He decides, you know what? I'm going to unleash the Dragon, and that time, Dragon most certainly unleashed. And Sao Paulo take a shocking lead here, and Catalunya, I mean, they probably only just get the news now that Athênai scored, but they hit back! Dogwood Maple with a big header and ends up equalizing right back for Catalunya.
And floodgates will burst open as the 30-minute mark passes. Both teams decided that they are done feeling each other out and want to score some goals. There's Dogwood Maple on a beautiful header. Crossed in, I believe, by it was McFlopface, I want to say.
Yep, that it was. As well, I mean, McFlopface was just found in space, not really being closely marked by Fesenvitz, and ended up working out for them quite well.
We did see it in the last game against 3-4-3 as well. As strong as they can play out wide, they are also susceptible to the attack starting out wide. You see McFlopface just in so much space, no one's on him.
Yep. And, I mean, nothing really more to be done about that, as trying to find him Brimovic on the back end, ended up rescuing it though. Fesenvitz a shot and saved by Gunnarsson.
Beautiful work from Fesenvitz there to drag the ball back and into an open space. Really good luck from him. Though I will say that is the reason why McFlopface is completely unmarked, because Fesenvitz is there.
Yep. As Fred now tries to find Coffee Biscuit, was offside and just lets it roll out for a goal kick.
Yeah, missed down the run there, unfortunate for Catalunya. Sorry, not Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
Speaking of Catalunya, though.
Because, I mean, look at them, both in red shorts and both semi-similar colors.
This happens a lot more often than you would think. I confuse Sao Paulo's jerseys up frequently.
I know. It happens. Moyatu now. Whipping it over for Anivier. Anivier back inside, and there's another tap for Maple. Gets himself a double, and a huge one in that regard as it puts them back in front.
Athênai F.C. with the assist there has been looking to get into the contribution sheet after a hot start to the year, cooled down around the middle of the year, but looking to pick up some form here. Wonderful tucked finish by Maple, and if you're Adam Rager, that's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you could have perhaps gone out to play it, but I just didn't want to take the gamble.
Just too close.
Yep. Too close, too easy.
Yeah, you're hoping your defenders pick that up there. But it makes its way through, and Maple, with the net at his mercy, makes no mistake.
Indeed, is now Sao Paulo looking to perhaps build an equalizer just before the break. Fred will just work it back though, goes back to Siege. Siege inside for Imbrimovic.
Great work rate from McFlop.
Yeah.
Really enjoying watching him drop back.
Had a shot. Maple nearly had himself a Hattie, but ends up being just wide. As that takes us to the break.
Yeah, I think there is just one change coming in today, and it's going to be for Catalunya. I think they're going to be making a sub for McFlop base. The assist on our goal earlier today is going to be coming out, making room for the super sub that is Mojo Rising.
Seems like a pretty popular choice there. I mean, Rising just is very good with that kind of thing.
Yeah, he's settled into that super sub role. I believe has made, I want to say to date, maybe 3 or 4 starts for Catalunya. Nope, I'm lying. He's got about 8.
Well,
he's got about 4 substitute appearances, though, now making his 5th, if I'm not mistaken. 13th overall. Nope, I definitely got that wrong because we've not... hold on, I'm missing the cup.
Yeah.
So that could be accurate.
I don't think I have the cup, as Archer's cross is blocked by Järvinen, and the referee there ruled it a corner.
Not only that, but the cup had 3 group stage matches this year.
Indeed, Lexington whipping it in close and headed away there by Budget Busquets. Now Catalunya, soon after they clear the corner, found with an opportunity. Juliusson goes back to Järvinen, Okamoto, now with Busquets. Goes back, Juliusson, nearly found an incisive ball. I think Järvinen ended up thinking it was for him, but it looked like it just should have been for Maple to run onto that one and take a shot. Kamoyatu, aren't you able to stop the run?
Yeah, you see this from time to time from Catalunya. They like to take that one touch too many sometimes, and it'll stifle their attack, right? You saw it there. Järvinen taking the one too many touches. That was probably meant for Maple, like you said. But hey, when you have a lead, sometimes you can afford to play a little bit fun.
Yeah, could have been an unintended choice to have the attack extended. Kamoyatu tried to send through Rising, but intercepted there by Fesenvitz.
Yeah, a bit of an ugly tackle from Fred, it seemed. He'll get away with that, though.
Yep, Coffee Biscuit is in, and Coffee Biscuit may have been onside, and equalizes.
I'm going to want to see a replay of this. I swore this was offside.
Now, we'll get a look from this top view here.
Lee Fist pulls him off.
Like he was just in line with Lee Fist.
Or puts him on.
To me, but look at where the finish is in.
Beautiful. Bit of a chip. Bit of a chip, bit of finesse. That's the best replay we're going to get, unfortunately. No need for an offside cam. I would be investing that at all.
Well, we do have it. We just decided not to utilize it. You know, what is good allocation of resources? That's what we really need to ask about. Either way, Okamoto finds Rising. Perhaps it's just a Kako efforts to not show it. Kawayato now for Okamoto to Rising. Rising, a shot of it, a super sub to get one right back and puts Catalunya back in front.
God, I love watching Mojo Rising come off the bench because every time he does, you know something magical is about to happen. What a shot, what a finish. Adam Rage gave all he had and still couldn't get to that. Couldn't even get close to that.
Yeah, I mean, you try your best and just couldn't succeed.
Sometimes you try your best and you don't succeed.
Yep, get what you want, but I mean, that wasn't what he wanted, not what he needed. Nor what he needed, rather.
Certainly not what Sao Paulo needed either. That's a go-ahead goal for Catalunya. They worked so hard to get that equalizer.
Yeah, it's Kamayatu. I tried to double their lead, but just ended up sending that over the top.
Looking for some insurance now is Catalunya. I'm sure they'll take another if they can.
Yeah, but they might just be content with holding them out for now as time has already ticked away on them. And Sao Paulo not able to create many chances.
Catalunya just able to sit on the dagger of the goal there for Mojo Rising, and that's it.
Yeah, they did well. Never gave Sao Paulo a look in that last 25 minutes to even have a shot at equalizing. Dogwood Maple with the double gets player of the match for Catalunya. May have it for Sao Paulo. May have it for the match as well. I mean, hard to argue with it. Mojo Rising probably with second best performance out there as well, coming on and scoring what was the game-winning goal thanks to that pass from Shion Okamoto.
Yeah, and although they are not winners in this match or even partial winners, I do have to give credit to Sao Paulo. They played their hearts out today. It's just unfortunate they didn't get any results against a different team. I think they would have. But they've ran into the buzzsaw that is Catalunya, whom improved to 6 points behind Tokyo. 6 points behind Hollywood.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was going to say, they will move equivalently with Tokyo, though a little bit of a closer gap for Tokyo now on the goal difference metric, as Catalunya will only go to +6, while Tokyo will be at +3. There's still 4 points between them, and Catalunya 6 behind Hollywood. Well, top 4 have pretty much separated themselves, and then it's the last 4 who only Cairo was able to get victories out of those that were in the bottom 4. And that was due to facing another bottom 4 team.
Yeah, no, a big day for the Pyramids. They take advantage of what was a weak match day for them and a difficult match day for the rest of the bottom 4. So they'll move up to, I believe it's 5th. We'll see here shortly once we get a good overlay of the end of the day results. But Kaapstad's struggles continue. They still sit winless after 9 games.
Yeah, and I mean, being now 9 back of Sao Paulo, even 10 back of Inner London, you got to make that difference up. I mean, you just have to resign yourself to fate, perhaps.
5 to play, so it's certainly not impossible, right? Results would need to go terrible for Sao Paulo and Inter London if that were to occur, but certainly still all to play for. It's possible, right? 15 points available in the last 5 matches here. So, could we see them come back? Certainly. Is it likely? With a negative 28 goal differential through 9, it's probably not. But hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for chaos.
Yep. Although we get to see the standings and everything confirmed out. I mean, tough games. 1 goal games throughout all of them, except for that Skyrise hat trick that he scored. Double for Dogwood Maple. Everyone else only getting singles with Zimmer, Noodle, Torres, Inclam, Biscuit, and Bobby. Of course, Mojo Rising, if I didn't mention him already. That crucial game-winning goal right at the death. Well, Sarah, anything you'd like to say before we sign off?
Just that mismatches are important.
Yep. Well, even with that, we got 5 more matches or perhaps mismatches for our match day still to come. Sarah TVC, the rest of the Simulated Soccer League Board of Directors and Commissioner, I have been Socc. We shall see you next time.